let's just move to, okay, so the meeting ended and it ended badly on the 27th.
Yes.
And so there was no approval of a plan or anything. Okay, and then 171, that's when you hand over the dockets to General Sentumule. How did that come about? Was it just upon a request from General Sentumule that you handed them over, and where were they? Where did you get did you ask for the dockets to be sent to you and then it was handed over to General Sentumule? How did it happen?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The instruction from Lieutenant General Sibia to General Sentumule had come long time ago, I think beginning of March or February, if I'm not mistaken. And there were lots of activities and discussions and meetings that were happening. So the persistence from Lieutenant General Sentumule was only more during the first month. But then from the 5th of March, these activities started. Then there was then maybe also from her side the hope that these meetings and activities will give light to that instruction. But then after the meeting or around the meeting of the 27th, then that is when it's the persistence started again that I have this instruction to comply with. It's me who's in trouble, not you. You are not instructed. So for you is just to hand over the dockets to me, and then I will be seen to have complied. That's exactly what I did. I am accounting for all the dockets allocated to the task team PKTT as a project manager, and then I had to formally hand over the accounting of those dockets under investigation to Lieutenant General Sentumule as instructed by her Deputy National Commissioner General B.
Okay.
On the 28th
8th.
And the 23rd.
And those letters, we don't need to go through them, but they're attached as SDK 31, the handover letters.
Yes.
And so to complete this this part of the statement, then you did not inform General Mkunazi about this.
That is correct, Commissioners.
And so that's why you received a letter on the 22nd of May, paragraph 174 of your statement. You say you received a request from the Provincial Commissioner, KZN, inquiring about the whereabouts of the dockets.
That's correct, Commissioners. As the project manager, I'm accounting for each and every docket. Now, I take this 121, I hand them over to Lieutenant General Sentumule. And then during the accounting session, then chaired by the Provincial Commissioner, he is inquiring about the status of these dockets, and he gets the report that they were taken by me. Yeah.
Okay, so you assumed that he was aware. Is that why you didn't inform him?
Not that I assumed that he was aware. Firstly, it was not my place to inform, because the period, as I've said, it was the period of uncertainty, and then one would have thought that after the agreement of whatever way forward, then the National Commissioner is the one who's going to inform us all, because even myself, I needed to be informed. So all of us were waiting to be informed as to the way forward.
Okay. So the next section then of the statement is about the return of the dockets.
Do you mind just dealing with paragraph 172? It can just be read because it's something that will come up. Just read it, General, into the record.
Thank you, Commissioners. I will read on record paragraph 172. On the 16th of April, 2025, Brigadier Nkwashu, who is, let me read it as it is, on the 16th of April, 2025, Brigadier Nkwashu made an attempt to retrieve the criminal dockets pertaining to the case in which Mr. Katiso Mulife was charged during December 2024. According to Brigadier Nkwashu, this action was taken following a direct instruction from the Provincial Commissioner, who allegedly mandated that the docket be handed over immediately. The Brigadier further stated that failure to comply with this instruction will result in disciplinary actions being taken against the responsible parties. The circumstances surrounding this request, including its agency, raised suspicions. That paragraph is included in my affidavit as per the report received from the witnesses A, B, and C, also included in their affidavit.
And then paragraph 170.
Just before that, Ms. Hassim, what do you mean, General, when you say that Brigadier Nkwashu attempted to retrieve Mr. Katiso Mulife's docket?
This paragraph...
my focus is on attempted to retrieve. Did he want that the docket should be given to him?
That's exactly what we mean. He was instructing that this docket be given to him. And then it was an attempt because we did not approve it. It did not happen.
Did you make any inquiries that the Provincial Commissioner had indeed given the instruction that Brigadier Nkwashu was referring to?
Commissioners, no, I did not. My approach in situations like this, if a very junior member that is reporting to me is giving me a request from another senior officer, my response will be, tell him to call me. So I said they must tell Brigadier Nkwashu to tell the Provincial Commissioner to call me, and it did not happen.
Thank you.
I think that this is linked to paragraph 173, and maybe it's quicker if you read the paragraph 173.
To read it on record,
yes,
paragraph 173. On the 22nd of April, Lieutenant General Sbia sent a communication to Lieutenant General Sintumule stating that in compliance with the instruction of the Minister of Police issued on the 31st of December and subsequent directive on the matter, you are advised that the process should be finalized by Thursday, the 24th of April. This includes the transfer of all dockets closed, currently under investigation and in court, to the Division Detective and Forensic Services a final feedback report on the finalization of this process, including confirmation that all task team members have reported back to their stations of origin is awaited on or before Friday, the 25th of April 2025.
Now, this letter is attached as SDK 32, but I would like you to just explain, the timing of this letter. It's 22nd April. It follows the request for this particular docket of Mr. Molefe. And the instruction is, you've underlined all dockets. Did that emphasis of all dockets, is that your emphasis, or was that General Sibia's emphasis?
Thank you, Commissioners. It is my emphasis. One is depending also on timeline analysis or chain of events. There was a time in my testimony where I referred to a period between February, March, and April, when the investigation was at an advanced stage for us to continue with the second phase of takedown on GCI ops, and we were in and out of NPA offices discussing, trying to get our way, and then during this period we see now the revived efforts that are talking to the dockets, more especially now the dockets of GCI ops. We have delivered on the dockets of PKTT, but still now the approach is direct, that it's talking to the GCI ops dockets. Hence our view that the closure or the disbandment of PKTT was a mistaken identity, because the dockets are handed over. Then soon after that, there is direct now attempts through Brigadier Nkwashu. There is a letter now on the 22nd of April that now demands all the dockets, meaning others have been received, but there are those that are still outstanding. That is what informs then our mistaken identity of the closure of PKTT.
General, in that paragraph, you say the letter of the 22nd was addressed to Lieutenant General Sintumule. But when you look at that letter, DSK 32, it seems to be addressed to you as well. Is it a mistake in the paragraph, or am I reading it wrong? So right at the top, it says Divisional Commissioner, Crime Intelligence, and then in the second line, it says Detective and Forensic Services.
Yes, Commissioners, then I will apologize for that typing error. The letter was addressed to both of us.
Okay, I think we understand that and what your explanation is and why the request for all dockets. And just to cut to the chase, is this because there were members of the PKTT in GCI ops, and that hence the confusion?
Yes, Commissioners, the process, as I explained during my testimony, that as to how the GCI ops came about, it came about with the combination of counterintelligence investigation and Gauteng organized crime investigation assisted by the PKTT. So out of all these three environments that were involved in the GCI ops, it's the PKTT that came out as a target to neutralize whatever that the GCI ops was busy with.
General, how did you and General Sentumule respond to General Sibiya's letter of the 24th of April?
Thank you, Commissioner. My posture has never changed since the 7th of January. So one will say maybe that's why there will be an activity or a response if the letter is not addressed to me. So I will take it that the writer would have realized that for something to happen on my directive or instruction, I must address it to Lieutenant General Sentumule. So with this attempt on the letter addressed to both of us, my posture remained the same. No response, no nothing, no activity from my side. So the same posture from the 7th of January up until to date, maybe.
Or just for the record, I must correct myself. I said the letter of the 24th. It was the letter of the 22nd April. I think, the 24th was the deadline.
The deadline, yeah.
Thanks, Chair.
Yes, Ms. Asu.
Thank you, Chair. So now we go to the section of the 121 dockets return. Now, this section from page 70 until page 72 is going to be the subject of evidence of another witness still to appear before the Commission, a detailed presentation of the process of the return of the dockets, meaning the receipt of the dockets back with the PKTT. And that took place on the 27th and 28th of August, correct?
I confirm, Commissioners.
I don't think it is going to assist us to go in detail through this section because we are going to get more detail in near future, but do you confirm the contents of these paragraphs up until 184?
Thank you, Commissioners. I do confirm my involvement as on the previous part of my testimony, the handing over on those 2 dates, and then also now the return on the 27th and 28th, my involvement as a responsible person and accounting for the dockets, but the witness who was directly involved with the process itself will come and testify. But I confirm everything.
Thanks. Can I just ask you 2 questions about the dockets only? One, there was the accusation that the dockets were gathering dust at head office while they were there. But we do know that there was inspection of the dockets that took place and maybe other things. I mean, do you believe that it was gathering dust, those dockets? What is your response to that? What is going on with the dockets for the period of time it was at head office between March and August 2025?
In my view, thank you, Commissioners. In my view, sometimes the choice of weights will determine the the response. Maybe in this case, the choice of gathering dust is the one that can give you the unexpected reaction. But from my point of view, I will say the usage of the words that since the dockets were handed over by myself to Lieutenant Jasin Tumule, there is no investigation activity that took place. The only thing that happened was the inspection of the docket, as it is the line function of each and every commander who is having the dockets under his or her custody to inspect the docket, which is not part of the investigation, because during the inspection, that's where you give instructions to the investigating officer to go and investigate in the form of doing A, B, and C. But maybe the choice of words in the form of gathering dust might make one to also use the inspection as investigation, the inspection process as the investigation process.
Can I ask a yes or no question? During this 4-month period, did the investigating officers have access to the dockets?
They did not have access to the dockets.
Thank you. And then my second question is, okay, so the first is there was no investigation on the dockets while they were. The second is there's been criticism that there are dockets amongst those 121 where there had been little movement for a long period of time. Can you explain that? Is that correct? And do you have an explanation for that?
Thank you, Commissioners. That is very correct. Again, it depends as to who is saying it. My yes is because I know the reason. The reason is in line with the methodology employed by the task team, PKTT. One will see from the dockets that were inspected at head office during that time, there were lots of directives that were saying, take this for inquest, take this for the decision for undetected, take this. So the methodology of being successful at a normal traditional investigation environment is to close as much dockets as possible, which is totally different from the task team. In the task team, you will investigate the docket in phases, employing all the available investigative aids that are there. When you have exhausted all of them, you put that docket away. You don't take it for inquest process. You put it away, and then you go back to the threat and risk assessment, because this docket is coming from a particular area. Then if there is a docket that is reported in that area, you will use the investigation of that docket with the hope that it will give you something that will resuscitate this investigation. Hence, then we call our filing of those dockets a fridge, not a deep freezer, a fridge. A fridge is something that you open now and again, so as you don't forget. If there is a new case reported, before you analyze it, you go through the case that you have investigated and you have not yet have a breakthrough. So that will be correct for someone to say the last activity on this docket was in 2023, December. Now it's 2025. That might be the reason only.
Okay, so just to to summarize what you're saying, the approach of the PKTT, if you hit a dead end on a docket, you've not been able to crack the case, so to speak. You don't close the docket. You keep it in the fridge, and you keep looking at it every time you have further information to see if you can make a breakthrough eventually. So you don't close it, you just keep it on ice for a while. Is that right?
That is correct, Commissioner.
And you say that is different from the traditional method?
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. So those are my only questions on the dockets, General. As I said, we will be dealing with that in future in more detail. So the last section then of your statement starts on page 73. And it's what you describe as the retaliation against the PKTT. And in this section, you explain what you understand to be retaliation through several cases that have been brought against members of the PKTT. Are you able to summarize what you wish to say in this section for the Commission?
Thank you, Commissioners. I will indeed summarize this by just pointing to the fact that after the realization that PKTT was a mistaken identity in blocking the GCI Ops investigations, then one realized that during December, the first objective of the opposition, I'll say so, was to deal with the project leader. Hence, there were lots of activities that were talking to the arrest of the project leader. Evidence has been led, and I've referred to quite number of examples. Even the team, PKTT, most of the cases, if not all, they were registered in December 2024, the busiest month. So the closure of PKTT that happened on the 31st of March of December 24, according to our analysis, was the second attempt. The first attempt was to arrest and disrupt the activities that are continuing, and then came the disbandment. So there are lots of cases that has been indicated as part of evidence. One of them is the case that the 7 of us from the Division Crime Intelligence are facing. To relate this case with retaliation is when we deal with projects, there will be a National Executive Committee of Intelligence that is dealing with that project, and no one else is allowed or is supposed to know and do anything about the project. So the accused on this case that were arrested on the 26th of June is the whole National Executive Committee of GCI Ops. Now, fast forward to the condition that one has not seen much, maybe I must add much, not at all, to say you're on bail, but you are not suspended, but don't go to work. One is associating that with the main purpose of Because going to work, it means you are going to continue working on the GCI ops. So you are not allowed to go to work to do your work. You can do something else, but not the work. So I'll point only on that point when I try to summarize these cases, especially the one that I'm not supposed even to talk that much on it because I have interest or I'm part of it. Then the other cases we have referred to during my testimony, the attempts we saw from the WhatsApp chats, the attempts to open cases through IP. We saw another case of false information about the Rolex watch. So there's been lots of cases, and the 3 cases that were opened around Orlando against the team, and another one, the kidnapping, opened and registered as a victim by one of the targets from our side that we have been referring to, a ballistic expert. So with all those, the common denominator of information is there is a coordinated effort of destabilizing the GCI ops by then opening these fake cases against the team management and members as part of retaliation.
The
Thank
one
you.
question I had, sorry, is paragraph 190.4. What does that case in the Eastern Cape have to do with the PKTT or activities of the GCI ops or Molefe and Matlala cases? So how is it linked to any attempt to disrupt what you are doing in relation to those cases?
Thank you, Commissioner. When we were requested or instructed to intervene in the University of Fort Hare, we sent the best of PKTT. So when we had to get the support from PKTT in the GCI ops, we took the same best. So we rediverted the same best from Eastern Cape to Gauteng. Now, the activities that happened in the Eastern Cape will always then have something that can assist someone who wants to come up with false charges against the members of the PKTT stroke GCI ops.
Sorry, let me understand this. You're saying the secondment in November 2024 to Gauteng, you also took people from the Eastern Cape?
Yes, Commissioner.
General, let me take you to paragraph 186. And that's the paragraph concerning the appointment of Brigadier Mukwele, who used to work for BMW before her appointment. Am I correct that she was appointed directly from BMW
That is correct.
to be a brigadier in subs?
That is correct, Commissioner.
What were the advertised requirements for the position?
We were looking for the head of our technical support services. Without detailing it that much, so as we don't expose our covert methodologies, but it's a person, firstly, who's qualified in mechatronics, a person who can combine both mechanical engineering and electronical engineering to suit our covert activities needs. So those people are normally found then in these environments like BMW or Ford or because they are doing both electronical and mechanical engineering or qualified and they have experience.
Was she based at the manufacturing plant, not at a dealership?
I cannot be able to be quite sure in terms of the separation, but what I know is she was a supervisor of technicians that are doing mechanical and electronic work in the manufacturing part of the car.
So do you say that she met the advertised requirements?
According to us as the panel that recommended her as candidate number one, she did meet all the requirements.
Thank you, General.
General, I have had a question on this, which is the appointment was made from someone outside of the SAPS into the SAPS, and the appointee was given the status of a brigadier, which is, as I understand it from the rankings, fairly senior. And would it be, can you explain how somebody from outside of the police service with no experience in policing would be brought into the service and given a fairly senior rank from the outset?
Yes. No, thank you, Commissioners. I won't be long on that. I'll first refer to my response when the Commissioner asked as to what were we looking for. We were looking for a qualified mechatronics person, not a police officer like me. My experience and qualifications were irrelevant to the post. So we first advertised the post internally, and then the process moved on until the panel by then could not find a suitable candidate, which is a policy within SAPS. And then that panel recommended for the post to be advertised externally, so as then we can get people that are qualified for the work that for the person that you are looking for. That's how then once the post is externally advertised, it's not only limited to brigadiers and generals. There are posts that are advertised on newspapers of a qualified Reverend Muruti. And those people then, because we are not Barutis, police officers, then a Muruti who's qualified and registered with a particular Baruti organization then will apply and qualify, come in and be given that rank that was advertised. So in the police, it's not something that does not happen. We have a lot of senior officers that came in from the level of a brigadier. Some, they came in from a level of a major general. Not, or maybe let me make one example, the living example. The current divisional commissioner at the level of a lieutenant general, who is a lieutenant general, is from the National Treasurer Department. 2 years ago, was appointed by SAPS as a divisional commissioner, who is a lieutenant general. It's another fresh example that we can see, because SAPS was looking for particular qualifications and experience that SAPS could not find within SAPS.
So the Lieutenant General you are referring to had no policing background whatsoever?
Not at all. He was, I think, after 2 years of being employed, he was then sent to a basic police training, which is normally not for like a full period because you are called a lateral entry level and you are a senior officer. So you will just go there and get the basics so as you are able to know how to salute.
So this post was advertised at the level of a brigadier.
Of a brigadier.
General, just one question about the bail issue. Your bail condition is that you may not go to the office. Do your bail conditions prohibit you from speaking to members of the intelligence division of crime intelligence?
I was hoping that
I'm not asking you to explain in full. I'm not asking you to give an explanation. I just want to know whether your bail conditions include that you may not speak to employees.
No, it does not, Commissioner. Talk to speaking.
Yes.
The only condition is we must not go to our offices to do our crime intelligence work.
Yes.
We can do whatever other work as long as it's not crime intelligence.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, General, please, can I take you to page 77?
Please. Yes.
And I think that let me do this now. Okay. Sorry, commissioners. You will recall yesterday there was a request for CJC 32.1, which is proof of ownership of a particular vehicle. May I please hand it up for the record? Fine. Thank you, Chair. All right, so page 77, this is what I propose should happen now. I think you should read, this is your conclusion. Can I ask you to read into the record paragraphs 192 to 194, which is your conclusion?
Thank you, Commissioners. In conclusion, from paragraph 192, reading it on record, it is clear that up until the operations conducted on the 6th of December, neither the Minister of Police, the Minister Mchunu, nor Lieutenant General Spear expressed any concern on issues with the functioning and existence of PKTT. There was no indication of dissatisfaction or objection regarding the team's activities or mandate. However, following these events of the 6th of December, there's been a marked and coordinated effort to dismantle PKTT. seemingly without any consideration of the ongoing investigations, active court proceedings, or adherence to established legal requirements. This abrupt change instead suggests that actions taken by the PKT during the 6th of December operations triggered a targeted campaign to undermine and ultimately disband the team, regardless of the broader implications for justice and the due process.
General, before 31 December 2024, were you aware of any attempts to disband the PKTT?
I was never aware of any attempt or any complaint, Commissioner.
Now, I want you to explain the connection that you make between the final disbandment and the events of the 6th December 2024. You say following the events of the 6th December 2024, there has been a marked and coordinated effort to dismantle the PKTT. That, to me, suggests that from that date onwards, up to the date of the actual disbandment, there was a lot happening leading towards or suggesting that there would be a disbandment. Can you please explain that?
Thank you, Commissioner. I had prepared it in a timeline analysis format showing the dates, so as when I narrate, it talks to the question by the Commissioner. The 6th of December came up with 3 issues that are still making headlines. It was the execution of warrant of arrest against Ukatiso Muliv, of which we have done it more than 1 time now within this short period. And secondly, the search and questioning of Madlanga. And the other point that we did not discuss that much during my testimony is the issue of the 360,000 tender, which was there all along, but it only came out of wherever it was because of the operation of the 6th. One will take it because it was a tender, not a criminal activity. It was known somewhere, but it was not talked about. Then the operation on the 6th gave that opportunity for the tender issue also to come in the open to the public. It came through the court submissions by Madlanga on the 17th of December. And then, because we have active media, then the media then took it up until the minister called the meeting on the 24th of December for that reason, to say, hey, what's happening with this tender that is now all over the show, and it's also associated with the Tembisa Hospital fraud and corruption investigations. So that's what was also brought in by the 6th of December. So from where we are sitting, Now, looking at all the evidence that we have led, starting from the 6th of December, making an example on both operations, I said yesterday the minister's name is dropped because indeed by that time we looked at it as name dropping on the 6th of December. Now, the activities of from the 6th of December, going in and out of courts, cases opened, sometimes against us, sometimes there is an attempt using IP, the political killings task team in the picture from the 6th, makes us to be of this strong view that if the PKTT did not feature in the happenings or the events, rolling them from the 6th of December, we were not going to see a lot of activities targeting PKTT, either in the form of cases or attempted false cases against anyone who has got to do with the PKTT. That is what makes us draw that inference.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, General.
Okay, so it's 193, can you take it from 193?
Alongside the attack on the PKTT, its members have also been targeted with criminal cases, something that I've explained right now. Although these cases may eventually be dismissed, but in the present moment, they serve to distract the team members and they affect their reputation in the eyes of the public. I've made an example even of us as the NEC of the GCI Ops. How difficult is it to continue with our oversight function of such a delicate project?
You left out intimidate. In the present moment, they serve to distract, intimidate
the team members and their reputation in the eyes of the public. Thank you, Chair. The cumulative effect of these actions has been to create an atmosphere of uncertainty and apprehension, making it increasingly difficult for the PKTT members to carry out their duties effectively. Such tactics not only undermines the morale, but also it erodes public trust in the integrity and the purpose of the team. Last paragraph 194, I, Samuel Dumisani Khumalo, hope this statement goes a long way in assisting the Commission with the facts related to the disbandment of PKTT and provides a clear factual account of the events and motivations behind the team's disbandment. My intention is to ensure that the Commission is fully informed of the circumstances so that the truth may prevail and that the critical work of the PKTT is properly understood and considered.
Thank you, General. That brings us to the end of your evidence. I have a qualifier to that because it brings us to the end of your evidence for today. But I expect and I hope you agree, General, that you will return for further questioning at a later stage before the Commission, as there will be other questions to pose to you, particularly as other witnesses appear before the Commission.
I'll always be available, Commissioners.
Thank you.
General, thank you very much for enduring, sitting there and testifying longer than all the other witnesses before you. Thank you very much. Ms. Hassim, tomorrow 9:30?
Tomorrow, 9:30. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's adjourn and resume at 9:30 tomorrow.